As a child, I spent many summers at my grandparents' house in the small town of Millfield, nestled in the heart of the country. It was a peaceful place to escape the hustle and bustle of the city. It was during one of these visits that I stumbled upon a map tucked away in the attic. The parchment was old and yellowed, and the ink had faded to the point of being barely legible. But one thing was clear. It led to a hidden treasure somewhere in the town. Excitement bubbled inside me as I tried to decipher the map. It was full of cryptic markings and symbols that I couldn't make head nor tail of. I begged my grandfather to help me make sense of it, but he dismissed it as an old family heirloom with no real significance. Over the years, life took over, and the map became a distant memory. But then, strange things started happening in Millfield. Hushed conversations in the local pub, whispers about a stranger in town asking questions about the history of the area. And then, the disused mill on the outskirts of town suddenly burst into flames. The flames flickered high into the night sky, illuminating the darkened streets. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss, that the map I had long forgotten about might be the key to unraveling these strange occurrences. The next day, I retrieved the old parchment from the attic and set about trying to decipher its hidden meanings once more. I sought out every book on local history from the library and spent countless hours poring over their pages. Finally, I pieced together that the treasure was hidden somewhere on the outskirts of town, in a place called Blackwood. I set out on my journey alone, the map clutched tightly in my hand. The sun beat down fiercely, casting long shadows across the winding country lanes. The scent of wildflowers and freshly mown grass filled the air, but my heart pounded with a mixture of fear and anticipation. As I made my way deeper into Blackwood, my nerves began to fray. The woodland was thick and tangled, the canopy blocking out most of the sun. The branches cracked beneath my feet as I searched every nook and cranny for any sign of the treasure. And then I saw it. A small clearing in the trees, the undergrowth thick with vines and brambles. I pushed my way through the snarled vines, feeling my clothes snag on the thorns. But then I saw it. A pile of rocks, carefully arranged in the shape of an arrow. Heart racing, I stepped over the rocks and looked down. There, nestled in the earth, was a small wooden box. With trembling hands, I lifted the lid and gasped. Inside, there were several sheets of paper yellowed with age, and beneath them a small silver locket. I picked it up and ran my thumb over the intricate surface. It was engraved with the name Elizabeth. I couldn't understand why such a humble treasure had caused such a fuss, but then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. The name on the locket, Elizabeth, was the same as my own, and the papers beneath it revealed a startling truth. Elizabeth was my ancestor, a woman who had suffered at the hands of the town's founding fathers. The papers told a tale of betrayal and heartache, of a young woman who dared to love a man of a different class, of how she had been shunned by the town and forced to flee, leaving behind everything she had ever known and loved. The locket had been given to her by her lover, a symbol of their enduring love. My hands shook as I read the papers, my heart heavy with sorrow. And yet, even in the face of adversity, Elizabeth's love had survived. The map and its hidden treasure had led me to a deeper, more meaningful discovery, one that spoke to the resilience and courage of my ancestors. As I walked back to Millfield, the weight of the treasure in my pocket, I knew that I carried a piece of history with me, a reminder of the bravery and love of the woman who had come before me. And though the treasure may not have been gold or silver, it was worth more than any material wealth.